The acrylic pour project that I have coming up next is not ready to be revealed because the recipients have not seen the final product yet. So we are going to get started with some Pysanky, which is the next project that I've been teaching myself. And that's what this is all about.
Hey everybody. So we are starting a new hobby, art project. Hopefully I get to the point where I can sell these as well. But I got, just like acrylic pouring, I got really interested in Pysanky or Pysanka. And that is the Ukrainian egg writing that you see. Pysanka means to write, something to that effect. I've been studying it for a while now, been collecting things as we go along, and we are finally ready to try to do my first Pysanka. Now, I can't draw a straight line to save my life, so I don't know why I'm doing this. I can't draw, period. That's why I do the acrylic pouring, because it's abstract and I can handle that. But there's a designer that's popular in the Pysanky world, and that is Mark Machowski. I'll spell his name out here at this point so that you guys know who I'm talking about. I love his designs. He does geometrical designs. And I also like the way he does the coloring, but the coloring is way, way off from what I'll ever be able to do. We're just getting started. So we're going to keep it simple. I've got some eggs here. These two eggs are whole, meaning I have not blown the yolks out. I've been holding on to them for a while. It's a little hard to get the yolk out at this point. I did it with some of the others of that same batch, and I cracked some of the shells. But I'm going to use those anyhow to practice on. But traditional Pysanky, apparently they didn't blow the eggs out. However, the danger is that the gases can build up if they're shaken up too much or anything, and they can explode or crack and ruin your design. Now, there's other things that I can also do with the Pysanky if I ever have any that are ruined, or I don't like how this turned out, but I like how this part turned out. So there are different things I can possibly do. So I've got some backup plans so that we're not wasting things. I have figured out how to blow out my eggs so that we're not wasting things as well. If I'm ever making myself some scrambled eggs or using some eggs when making cookies or cake or something like that, I can go ahead and blow the eggs and then save the shells. Now this one I need to clean again. Some gunk ran out as it was drying, so I need to re-clean it. But I've done a single hole, and this one I've got setting there because I do need to clean it again. Like I said, these are whole, so yeah, they still have the grocery store stamp on them. I have cleaned the eggs, which is why I've got my gloves on. Some of them I got the stamp better than others. Grocery store eggs are not the best to use, but because they're thin shelled usually, and also just some of the markings that get on them from the processing part of it all. So we'll see how they take while I'm practicing. It'll at least give me an idea. These right here, no cracks in them. The shells are nice. That was one of the ones I have set aside for us to practice on first. Is got all the speckling. So the different shell consistencies. You can see thin spots and thick spots. So it looks speckled all over, which might look all right as we do the dye process, but we'll have to see. I've got it as a practice egg. And all of these are really nice. No cracks. The single hole. Well, this had a little bit of chipping at the edge of the hole, but I think I can still cover that up. So I think I'm good there still. But there's all my holes. And they're fairly clean. I've used bleach on them along with Grease Lightning. I use Grease Lightning on everything. I use it on my laundry. I love this stuff. The place where I shop doesn't hold it anymore, so now I have to order it online or drive 60 miles to get it. So it's just cheaper to buy it online. But they don't sponsor me. I just love the stuff. They have supported some fundraisers I've done in the past, so I will give them that credit. But yeah. So they've all been bleached, grease lightened. These I'm going to set aside because I need to re-clean that one anyhow. But let me talk about some of my tools I have. So I've got my flashlight to check the shells and their density. And what you do is hold it up like that and you can see through the egg. This is the one that hasn't been blown. And it's got some speckles on it too. But there's no cracks on it or anything like that. So unless it explodes because I didn't blow it out, then we're going to be good. But this is my flashlight I've been using. And I actually got this from the company I work for. So that's cool. I get to use my little swag gift they gave me. I knocked the camera. Wanted to make sure I didn't turn the camera off. I've done that. I've got my Kiskas, which I haven't used yet. 4 different sizes. Can go ahead and take them out of their wrapping. But that is a Kiska. And you can see it's a little funnel. And each one has a marking on the bottom. Different colors. Whoops. Here's that one. And it just, it's different colors for different sizes. Huh, where'd that nut come from? I have no idea where it came from. This is the finest. This is the thickest. We're going to start with the thickest today. I have my H8 pencil. So we've got that. We've got our little candle. I'm hoping that I might be able to use these as egg stands afterward. We'll have to see how that looks once we've cleaned it out and everything. But I'm hoping to be able to reuse them. Trying to have as little waste as possible. And then the other thing that I have is an egg lathe. This is for helping to draw lines. Oh, that's where the nut came from. I unscrewed my egg lathe a little too much. So this will sit in here. I also have a vinegar wash in case I need it. And then I have black, red, yellow, and orange dye ready to go. Oh, I forgot my green. I need green too. Light green is the other dye color. So my dyes are ready to go. And I'm using this book from Lori Powpow and Donna Wolf. Both of these ladies are in the group that I'm a part of, so I've actually gotten direct feedback from them on some questions I've had before I gotten started. The group of folks from this world so far have been very friendly and love to share their knowledge, and so I feel lucky to have come across this group so far. So I'm using her book, and she has a design in here. The final picture should look like that. So this is the different sides of the egg, and that's the first design we're going to try. So we'll see how it goes. I really need to have a better setup. I keep kicking the camera. I've got some paper towels, one for each color, and my plan is to be able to reuse the paper towels. Again, trying to keep little waste. And I think the only other thing I need to let you guys in on is I have a little basket here which is holding the eggs so that they don't roll off the table, or so that some cats don't decide to go rolling them off the table themselves. So I have a little basket here to hold them. I think that's it. I'm going to do these videos a little bit differently than how I do the acrylic pouring videos. These I'm going to set on fast forward because they will take at least an hour, if not longer, probably longer, because there's got to be some drying time in between the dyes. So we're going to do the video on fast forward, and then I'll come back at the end and show you the egg in more detail, get you some close-up looks like I do with the acrylic pouring, and go from there. I don't have any sealant at this point. There's different ways to seal it. You can use a varnish spray like I do for my acrylic pouring. You can do polyurethane, which a lot of acrylic pouring artists use that as well. I have not used it, but that's what I'm leaning towards for the eggs. The other thing is you can use epoxy to seal them as well. So once I conquer being able to dry and dye and all that kind of stuff, then we'll worry about sealing them and preserving them. For right now, this is what we're going to do though. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so I finished the process and did a few mistakes along the way, which is why we practice on an egg we don't plan on keeping. I thought I would use the thickest funnel first because, I thought the thinner ones would be harder to use. But the thicker one, you kind of use it to flood the areas. It comes out really fast. So I was like, all right. So I don't expect, I can't remember if it was this side or this one that flooded. I don't expect that area to look very nice because even though I melted the wax off, it is still going to have a little bit of wax there. I didn't use any degreaser or anything like that. Plus, the reason why I got these was because I planned on using a heat gun to take the wax off, because the traditional way is to use a regular candle, not a tea light, and you hold the egg beside it and melt the wax off little bit by little bit. The problem with using the tea light trying to do that, the flame whipped around and did make some marks, the smoked mark on the side where I was trying to get that wax off. So I knew that would happen if I wasn't careful. I should know better. I'm not good at being careful. So yeah. So there was that mistake. Also, because I'm following somebody else's pattern, I didn't realize there's supposed to be little red balls on the end of these arrows that I did. I joined them to the lines of the curls. So the little balls were supposed to be the red, but then I forgot to fill in the spots that were supposed to stay orange, and I didn't realize it until they were already red. So I left those red and then added a little ribbon that goes around. I didn't quite join up correctly right there, but there should be a red band that goes around on both sides as well. And that's my additional part, since I forgot the berries and messed up the rosette. It's a starburst, not a rosette, starburst. All of these have meaning to them. I go back and forth. They originally started off as pagan, then Christianity took over, as it does everything. And so all the symbols mean a little bit of something. And I'll go over those after I take the wax off, where you can clearly see everything. But let's see the end result. So there we go. I think I've got all the wax off. Well, actually, there's a spot there. Or that might be where the black dye leaked through. Okay, now I think I got it all. Not too bad. I've got some spots where the black dye leaked through. I thought I had it sealed and with the flooding, and I didn't. And a little bit there. I zoomed in a little bit, but I don't know how well you guys can see that. This is where I had one blob come out. You can't really see the mess I made with the initial blob. So that's good. I can't even tell which side it was. You can see my lines were uneven there. Told you I can't draw a straight line to save my life. Some of the black dye is coming off here, but I think this is fixable. I can take a Q-tip and fill it in and kind of go from there. I'm not going to bother with this because it's not one that I'm going to worry about selling or anything like that. So if I need to practice touching up and that sort of thing, then I will use this egg to do that. But otherwise, ta-da! My first Pysanka. I was afraid I was getting the egg too hot and that it would explode. Because it does still have the yolk in it. It's got those gases in it, and I was afraid it would go all over my laptop and kitchen table and me and have a nasty smell. I don't think it's going to crack with that part. Now it's just a matter of time and waiting. Just bringing you guys in for a closer look. There's the side with the ribbon. That side. You can see my red ribbons that are going around as well. Okay, bear with me here. The dots symbolize the tears of Mary. The ribbons represent everlasting life, and that's what the red round ones are, as well as the white round ones, and the teardrops are all considered ribbons, I believe. That's all I have for the symbols in this book on those. I have more symbols somewhere else and the meanings and everything. I just don't have quick access to them. I keep knocking the thing. Let me switch hands. That made it a little easier. So we started with yellow. Yellow represents hospitality. Then we went to green, which is hope. Then we did orange, which is strength. And then red is happiness. I think that star is better. Red is happiness, and then black symbolizes eternity. So that's the finished project. We're not going to do any more tonight. So thank you for joining me on my first attempt of doing a Pysanka. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.